Every year around the same time, I notice the same patterns in the woman that I coach. You sit down with your planner or you open your bank account, and instead of clarity, you feel a knot in your stomach. You think, I should have earned more by now. I should have left my 9 to 5. I should have known what I was going to do this year. One December, long ago, I remember avoiding my business finance completely. I felt ashamed because my numbers were so far from what I expected them to be. And the more I avoided it, and the worse the spiral in my head became. I wasn't just behind with my number. I was behind in my head because of my own expectation of where I should be. And that's often where the biggest battle is. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Reina, Biblical Money Mindset Discipleship Coach, aka the Fun Money Coach. Through my 90-day program, I help you transform your relationship with money by renewing your mind with God's Word. And if you want to get started, your first step is to take my free quiz. Make sure you visit funmoneyhabits.com to grab it and identify what could be the reason you are stuck in those patterns of thinking and behaving with money. So today I want to talk about something almost every entrepreneur feels in December, that end of year money anxiety, especially the feeling of being behind, because it's usually start in the mind because of your belief and what you make it mean. So first, let's have a look at that cycle of guilt and shame. Here's the pattern I often see over and over in myself in the past and in my clients right now. You look at your numbers, fear arises. Then the fear turns into guilt. I didn't do enough. That guilt turns into shame. Maybe there's a problem with me. Shame leads to avoidance, and avoidance makes you feel even more behind because you're not taking action to change anything. And this cycle can show up in both business finance and personal finance. And it can show up whether you have money in the bank or not. Some of my clients will avoid their business finance, some will avoid their personal finance, and some do both. But here's the important part. Some of my clients earn really well, but they still feel behind and they feel broke. Why? Because avoiding their personal finance is actually making it become a leaky bucket. They earn, as I say, quite well. They might even pay themselves well. But if they don't steward what comes into their home, and personal finance is just disappear. And at the end of the month, you hear, where did my money go? And if you are like them, by the end of the year, it can feel like you have nothing to show for the work that you have done. If this sounds familiar, I created a 5-day personal finance tracking challenge. It will help you face your number gently and clearly without the shame. You can see where your money is going and rebuild a plan from confidence. I will drop the link in the description, or you can visit funmoneyhabits.com/resources. Again, it's that 5-day fun money tracking challenge, and it's free. But please, if you know that you need accountability, you want a deeper transformation and biblical support to earn more without fear, to sell your product with confidence, to look at your number without the shame and the guilt cycle, you may be interested in my 90 days Biblical Money Mindset Mentoring Program. This is where I will help you renew your mind and create habits that will bring you peace and clarity. All right, let's get back to today's topic. Now, let's have a look at what actually is happening in our brain and the reason why we get stuck. When you say, I feel behind, your brain may take this as danger. Your amygdala is firing up. Your body goes into protection mode. Why? Because your brain may interpret uncertainty as danger, slow months as failure, unmet expectation as rejection. And those thoughts and emotions push you to avoid anything that feels like proof that you didn't measure up. That's why checking your bank account and looking at your numbers at the end of the year can feel more stressful than doing content creation or talking to your next client. But avoiding your number or any other task in your business for that matter due to your limiting belief is keeping you stuck in the same cycle. That is why we need both biblical mindset renewal and fun money habits. We must let go of those limiting beliefs and create new habits to prove to our brain that we have chosen change instead of getting stuck in the same cycle and pattern over and over again. If you are in a season right now where you feel discouraged, you feel that your faith is not as strong, maybe, and that is a slow season, you may want to have a look at Hebrews 11 and then Hebrew 12, 1 and 2. And I'm just going to read it to you now. The ESV version, this is what it says. Let us all lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith. Right before that passage, you have Hebrew 11, which gives us a long list of people who lived by faith. You have Abraham, Moses, Sarah, Rahab, ordinary people who trusted God, even when they didn't see the result right away. Many of them waited years. Some never saw the full outcome in their lifetime, but God still called their faith pleasing. How incredible is that? Then in chapter 12, the author speaks to the believers who were tired and discouraged. They felt weighed down. Some were tempted to give up because life and faith felt slow and heavy. When Hebrew says, lay aside every weight, it means anything that slows your walk with God. Things like fear, discouragement, comparison, the pressure to prove yourself to others. Then that verse talk about the sin that cling so closely. And this refers to patterns that untangle us. Things like unbelief, pride, relying on our own strength instead of trusting the Lord, timing and provision. I like these two verses because it reminds me that we are not running someone else's race. God set the race and God set the pace. Feeling behind usually means that we stop looking at Christ and started looking sideways at other entrepreneurs, other people's timeline, and also at our own expectation or where we believe we should be by now. And I think this passage gently brings us back to the truth. You are called to run your race with endurance, not somebody else. God is not disappointed in you for being slow. He called you to faithfulness and stewardship, not speed. So I hope you will go back and read chapter 11 of Hebrew and then Hebrew 12 verse 1 and 2. And here are a few steps to help you break that end of year anxiety pattern. Number 1, I would like you to start naming your emotion in dissociation, meaning that you don't say, I am behind. You say, I notice anxiety rising. This creates space between you and the emotion. Number 2, we need to look at those numbers as information, not identity. Tell your brain, this is data. This is not who I am. 3, refocus on God's hand. Where did God provide for you and your business this year in way you didn't even expect? This helps you see the full picture, not only the hard time or one moment in time. Then give yourself 5 minutes to be a faithful steward. Set the timer on. Pick one small task. We want baby step here. Otherwise, you will feel overwhelmed and you're not even going to do anything. So one small task, it could be update one financial number, cleaning one business folder, plan one simple goal, or send one follow-up message to a client, right? Any task that you were avoiding, we want to tackle it. And as I say, it needs to be a small task to break the avoidance and the overwhelm cycle you're currently stuck in. And lastly, pray through Hebrew 12:1-2. Lord, help me run the race you have set for me. Help me finish with faithfulness, not fear. I really want to remind you, because I just had an amazing call with two other entrepreneurs. Slow season don't mean you are failing. Quiet revenue months doesn't mean you misheard God and what you should be doing. Feeling behind doesn't mean also that God is withholding something good for you and that success is only for others. You are not running late in God's plan. He may be teaching you endurance, trust, wisdom, and discernment. He may be simply trying to remind you to walk faithfully with Him today. Instead of doing things on your own strength, try pushing so hard and then feel burnt out. That's not what the Lord wants for you. I hope that this is what you needed to hear right now and that it gave you some encouragement. Thank you again so much for listening. And before you go, please let me know what was your biggest takeaway. You can send me a DM once again at Christian Money Mindset, or just let me know here. And for all the resources I mentioned, visit funmoneyhabits.com/resources to grab the free quiz or to get started with the 5-day fun tracking challenge. Thank you again. You take care. Bye.